Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Having some fun pointing out why it's important to think for yourself. I have I became a photographer so I can cut off people's heads and shoot people and not get arrested for it, shirt on. So you understand, there's a little humor here, but there's a deeper part of what's going on displayed here. And what I want to do is I'm going to tackle this LBGTQ issue that the world has. Lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transsexuals, queers are so frowned upon. But the people that are saying they're ungodly are human beings. They are offering up personal opinion and nothing more. To claim they're ungodly on a planet that has literally hundreds, if not thousands, of plants and animals that change their sex either because it's needed or because it's part of the habit of the animal itself or the plant itself, shows that there's absolutely no reality, none whatsoever, that anybody that changes the sex of their body at any point in time in their life, for whatever reason they want to, is in any way ungodly or looked down upon or frowned by gods, by spiritual beings. There's absolutely nothing. Now, when you stop and consider that the four churches that are most prolific about denial that those people can in any way, shape, or form have any relationship with a spiritual being are all for the Bible churches, the Jews, the Christians, the Catholics, the Muslims, okay? Muslims are by far the worst. They, physically mutate women and claim that they know better than God because God got it wrong letting women have that little clitoris that allows them to feel happy, for lack of a better word, to feel happy about having sex. The fact that Muslims of many of the different sects and stuff literally take young girls before they, before or as they start to menstruate, and just take a butcher knife and hack it out in a back alley. Obviously, these are masochist and sadist type people. They like the idea, they thrill on the idea that they are hurting somebody strictly for their own gain, for their own pleasure. Okay? The idea that, like I say, this town that I'm in, of a true Mexican town, that the girl is so young, she has not developed a body capable of producing a healthy baby and having the breasts to take care of it, and possibly not even having the hips to pass the child out. Nonetheless, the girl's walking around quite pregnant, and the parents are right there with them. So you have to understand that whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Catholic or even the Jews, you had your church tell you to go out and multiply as a God commandment because you needed members of your church to overrun anything else in the area. As like I said, I'm going to run a post on it. The miracle here that is Vatican approved, and a pope has been here, was literally a 1632 circus act performed in front of the town. What better way than a circus act to fake a death, fake an injury, fake a healing? Yeah, they had them all over the Bible Belt. They've had them all over everywhere for every kind of thing. Okay? They make money off of it. They do this on purpose. So they are also going to be very anti-birth control, which they just happen to be. They are going to be very anti lesbian or bisexual or gay or transsexual or queer, because again, you are doing something where you are enjoying a relationship with somebody. You are not in a relationship to take their money. You are not in a relationship to produce children to go and get, show to the church and pay your $1,000 a year or whatever in pray for my child bribery to get you into heaven. Okay? I mean, I was actually sickened at the idea until I read enough of the story that, an 80-some-year-old woman had a child. And then it was, she had an ovary replacement and I think it was in vitro type of an insemination where they planted womb, her uterus, which had been replaced in an operation slightly before that. And she wanted to show God how grateful she was that the humans were able to give her another uterus and she could keep producing children. And at that point in time, I believe it was something like her 18th, 19th, 20th child. Why would anyone want to have 20 children unless you are not in any way concerned about the children themselves? You are only concerned about being socially accepted because you make lots of babies for your church. Yeah, whoops. And yeah, she was an Italian Catholic. You have to stop and look at this whole thing of how they, literally refuse to believe in their own actions and why they're against it. Now, like I say, there are trillions of universes happening every microsecond. I can't define it any more than that, because that would violate existence if I tried to put an actual limit on how much can be created in any given moment of any given existence, in existence, not any given moment of existence itself. Okay. Now the scientist that runs up and says, "Oh no, there's only one universe," like I explained. He's the person who's in a room, and he has all the doors and windows closed, and he says, "Nothing exists out there because I say so. I'm not going to look, therefore it cannot exist." Who also says that? Oh yeah, all of your religions, whether you're Hindu, Buddha, Shinto, even the Native Americans, the New Age, all of the Christian stuff, all of the Muslim, all of the Jews, all this sort of thing, they all keep coming back to saying they and they alone tell their God what to do. The Pope can throw you out of the church and throw you out of the blessings of his God because he is more powerful than his God. That's why they won't come near me. I carry Revelation 2:17. It's attached to my soul. The first 10 years that I had it, I considered it an insult to have to carry it. And I knew that I couldn't take it off of me. It's given by a God. I'm in a human body here, therefore I cannot be greater than a God. Okay? That again leads back to the Bible and how easy it is to point out fallacy. Moses, like I said, he walked out of Egypt with all the slave labor and nothing happened. He proved they didn't have real gods and the people didn't riot. So that shows fallacy. Then he walks into the desert. The God of his religion gives him a stone tablet with laws on it. He walks down the mountainside, sees the people doing exactly what his God says they're doing, and they're doing wrong, and they should not be doing. And a human person smashes an object from a God and destroys it. Yeah. Then you get to the Christian Catholic stuff. You cannot be a God in a physical body for very long. You cannot be in a physical body because of the limitations it places on a God. Now, if you go read Palladian stuff, or you listen to somebody telling, the Palladian theory stuff, you have these, light beings who came to Earth and gave up their light bodies for physical bodies, and they knew that they would become something less than a god for doing so, or it'd be less than a totally enlightened being for it. So you have this obvious translation across many religions where no, you can't have a physical body and be a god. So Jesus Christ coming here and inhabiting a physical body for, what was it, 30, 35, 40 years. And there's no evidence of a guy that could walk around and create miracles. There's no evidence of those 30 years. Okay? He does, if you read the Bible and you go read yogic philosophy, he does seem to expound upon the idea of yogic knowledge to the people and go away from worshiping physical objects, especially man-made objects, okay? And your Christian and your Catholic churches do just the opposite. It's all about the plastic Jesuses. It's all about the gold and silver and the tithing and being in the prettiest church on the block and all this kind of stuff. So they literally condemn themselves by thumbing their nose at their own 10 Commandments, thumbing their nose at the reality of them sitting there and literally saying, I'm bigger and better and badder than my God. I mean, think about it. Like I said, I'm in a town. They have a saint. The saint called me here. Their God, Cristo, called me here. I've had 20 people try, 20 different times at least when people have tried to kill me. Just the other day I was out there and another guy, he starts talking about this wonderful place, this country club outside of town. I've got to go there someday. And like, yeah, really? Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, photographers go there all the time. They don't have anybody in this town that does landscape photography. Most of these people have no clue why I look up at the sky or anything like that. The photographs are bland and banal and mostly religious objects and stuff like that. You see a very, very tiny amount of actual real art in town. They don't even know what a person like me, who has been photographing night skies and landscapes and cityscapes and stuff like that, would look for, because I've been doing it for at least 50 years. I was walking around shooting, LA and trips and things like that, 50, 60 years ago, and I was always looking for the scenic and the beauty stuff and the expanse of what is natural. Much less so than the churches and the buildings that, of course, the tourist guides always take you to. So I say, you need to stop and really look at what's going on. You need to remember that sex is only viable, of male and female sex is only viable to human beings and their prejudices. There is no physical evidence that others are not, capable of being there, living, existing, being loved by gods, being in contact with gods and spirits. But, you want to run around and you want to scream, oh, gays are so bad. And your Pope's up there, well, those gay people and those lesbians and that LBGTQ stuff, they're all subhuman, so don't worry if you kill them. Just like Donald Trump, go bash them in. Oh, I'm sorry. My second in command, the Cardinal, he just got busted for having a gay orgy sex with little kids. That's the Satan's fault. He's making us look bad. It's not real. Look somewhere else. Interesting, huh? People do. It's okay to be a racist because we're against those people over there, but if you say anything bad about us, you're a bad person and we're going to kill you for it. Yes, scientists do the same thing. Okay? Like I said, it's not in my little room, so it doesn't exist, is what a scientist says. He is every bit the closed-minded religious person who says, only my God is real. I command all other gods to cease existing. Not using anything worth trying to say would be called thinking.